Welcome to Test Prep CA9 Part 1, question number 6. It says, wouldn't you know it, the trolls heard about what the Pegasi did, and now they are retaliating by putting stinky troll goop, a homemade recipe passed down from Grandma Troll, in the Pegasi's cloud nests. They did this for the last 15 days. Below is the stem plot showing the amount of goop used. All right? It says on the bottom there, they had some leftover goop and for 5 more days decided to place the rest in the Pegasi home base. The amounts they used were 15.30 liters, 15.30 liters, 17.21 liters, 18.12 liters, and 18.30 liters. With the extra 5 days of stinky goop warfare, what was the most frequent size of goop the trolls used? So what we have here, it looks like, is we have regular data, and here's a key that's going to help us analyze that data. It tells us that 16 with the stem line 30 means 16.30. So that would mean this number here is 16.30. This number here would be 16.47. This number here would be 17.21. So that just tells us how to read it. You always want to look at all your graph very carefully to make sure you understand it before you start working with it. Also notice that this is the amount of stinky troll goop used in liters. And these L's here then tell us that those are liters as well. So I'm going to clean that up. We're going to get started. So what they want us to do is it's always a good idea to read the question one more time, at least once or twice. I would read it a few times just to make sure we truly understand it. And this question says, with the extra 5 days of stinky goop warfare, so those 5 days are basically these values here. With those extra 5 days of stinky goop warfare, what was the most frequent size of goop the trolls use? Well, excellent. If we were to look at this graph right now before we entered those values in, what we would see is that the most frequent size of troll goop that they use would be here in the 16. And that value would be 16.30. 16.30 because you have the stem of 16 and you have 30 for each of the decimal values or the leaf values. So right now that would be the most frequent size of goop the trolls use. But they did 5 more days of troop warfare and they gave us the data here. So what they want us to do is they said with the extra 5 days of stinky goop warfare, what was the most frequent size of goop the trolls use? So I'm going to pause the video for just a sec. I want you to pause it and think, what do we do with these extra 5 points of data here? Go ahead and pause it now and try and figure that out. Well, I've cleaned it up. Hopefully you figured out that what they want you to do is add these to the data before you figure out what the most frequent size of goop the trolls used was. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add them in. I'm going to add in 15.30 here. This 15.30 I'm going to put right here in the graph because the stem is 15 and 30 would go there. So I'm going to do that right now. So there, I put the value 15.30 liters. So now I can actually, if I would like to, I can actually erase or cross out that one so I know I'm done with it. Now there's another one here right next to it. So do I have to put that one in as well? Well, the answer is yes. That's another data point. So I need to make sure that I add another 30 right next to that one in order to account for this 15.30. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then we'll move on to the other points. All right, so now I've finished with this other 15.30 here, so I'm going to cross it out as well. That leaves me with this, and this value left. So I'm going to do the 17.21 first. What I see is I already have one 17.21, so I can put the next one right next to it. So I'm going to do that now. There we have it again. I've just finished 17.21. That's taken care of. Now the last two I have are 18.12 and 18.30 liters, and I'm going to go ahead and put both of those in at the same time on the next one just to speed things up. And there you have it. I've now entered in all of the data from the extra 5 days of Stinky Goop Warfare, because it said with the extra 5 days of Stinky Goop Warfare, what was the most frequent size of goop the trolls use. So I've now added that extra 5 days of Stinky Goop Warfare. So now the only thing I need to do is figure out what was the most frequent size of goop the trolls use. I've already finished with the extra 5 days of Stinky Goop Warfare part. So that's the only thing left. What was the most frequent size of goop the trolls use? Well, to do that, the easiest way is you have to count up which one has the most of the same value, because these are all different sizes that they use, all different volumes of Stinky Troll goop that they use. So what I'm looking for is the one that repeats the most often. Well, 15 here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 15.30s. I have 5 values of 15.30. I have 4 values of 16.30. And I have 2 values of 16.61, 2 values of 17.21. So it's looking to me like this right here is probably my best bet, that that's the correct answer. So just so you know, an answer on the test or on tests will be 30, because they want to see if you're paying attention. But 30 is not the answer, because each of these 30s here represent 15.30. Don't forget this stem in this column here. You don't want to forget that, because that makes it the wrong answer. So the answer to this problem, based on the fact that we have 5 of these values, which means that they use that volume of Stinky Troll goop the most. They used it 5 different times. That's more than any other volume that they use here. These were only 4, these were only 2, these were only 2, but these, the 15.30, they used 5 times. So that is the most frequent size of goop the trolls use. So the answer is 15. 15.30. And that is the final answer. Hope you're enjoying the test prep. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.